Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all viewers. Welcome again to the fourth episode, episode 4 of the Green Chronicles. Today, our focus would be on wind energy. We've been going through a series of um, diving into possible alternatives to fossil fuels. In episode 1, we talked about the harmful effects of fossil fuels. In episode 2, we talked about the possible solutions, that is in green energy. And then we talked about solar energy in episode 3. In this episode, we'll be focusing on wind energy. And wind energy is one of the oldest forms of renewable energy. Now, ancient Egyptians used wind to sail the Nile, while early Persians used windmills for grinding grain. Fast forward to today, and wind energy is powering entire cities with zero emission. Now, here is how wind energy works, or how wind energy is generated. Wind turbines use large blades to capture kinetic energy moving in the air. Now, as the wind turns the blades, they spin a shaft connected to a generator. The generator then converts this mechanical energy into electricity, which is then fed into the power grids or stored in batteries. It is clean, it is efficient, and becoming more affordable day by day. Now, Africa's geography gives it an advantage in wind potential. High regional altitudes, coastal corridors, and vast open plains are ideal for wind farming. Countries like Kenya, Morocco, Ethiopia, and South Africa are already exploiting this natural gift. Kenya's Lake Turkana wind power project is the largest in Africa, with 365 turbines producing 310 megawatts of power, accounting for nearly 17% of the country's electricity. Morocco's Tafaya wind farm contributes significantly to the country's goal of producing 52% of its electricity from renewables by the year 2030. Here are 3 powerful facts that we should know about wind. 1. Wind is cost effective. Now, thanks to technology improvement and local manufacturing, wind is now cheaper than new coal and gas power plants in many African countries. Wind is scalable. Now, from massive onshore wind farms to small localized turbines, wind system can be scaled to fit both urban and rural energy demands. Wind reduces carbon emissions. Now, every megawatt hour of wind electricity displaces about 0.9 tons of carbon dioxide. That would have been released into the atmosphere by fossil fuels. Now, let us look at the benefits of wind power in Africa. Number 1, we look at clean and renewable energy, right? Wind energy emits no greenhouse gases during operation. It's sustainable, and it is a solution in the fight against climate change. We look at the energy access for all. Now, in regions with limited or no electricity, small wind turbines can power schools, health clinics, irrigation systems, and homes, transforming lives with minimal environmental impact. We look at the third point, which is job creation. Now, the wind sector offers thousands of jobs in manufacturing, thousands of jobs in construction, maintenance, and also engineering. Now, as Africa invests in wind infrastructure, it also invests in its people. We look at the energy security. Now, by relying on local wind resources, countries can reduce dependence on imported fossil fuels, stabilizing energy prices and boosting economic independence. Now, despite its potential, wind power in Africa still faces hurdles. Now, we look at the infrastructure gaps. Building wind farms in remote areas requires good roads, it requires power lines, and it requires a maintenance system which does not exist in Africa. Now we look at the investment risk also. Political instability, lack of policy frameworks, and limited access to financing will deter investors. We look at the intermittency. Now, wind doesn't always blow in these parts of Africa. To solve this system, we should create hybrid systems, that is combining two green power sources and providing a battery storage system to store the energy harnessed from these sources. But with innovation, policy support, and regional cooperation, these challenges can be turned into opportunities. Now, let us also look at a way forward. Now, Africa must prioritize policy support, clear regulations and incentives to attract both public and private investment. Africa must also encourage regional collaboration, that is sharing technical knowledge, creating cross-border grids, and coordinating wind resource mapping. Africa should also prioritize innovation and education. Now, training the next generation of African engineers and technicians will be a huge boost in our economy, or a huge boost in the technology gap that we have in green energy, and also looking at policies that might aid the ease of transition between the fossil fuels and the green energy. Now, wind is invisible, but its power is undeniable. It sweeps across deserts, hills, and coast untamed, yet full of potential. In a time when the planet is crying out for cleaner solutions, Africa must rise to the challenge and seize the wind. Now, as we continue our journey through the Green Chronicles, remember, the future of energy is not just in what we extract, but in what we harness sustainably. Thank you for watching. Like, follow, and share for episode 5. Episode 5 will be centered around geothermal energy. Thank you.